Good morning. Yesterday I talked about relationships and social relationships and how social we are and how much we need relationships in order to live happier, healthier, longer, more successful lives in every way. Today what I'd like to talk to you about is trust. Trust is this big issue when it comes to relationships. And I've been reading a book lately. It's called The Nearly Almost Perfect People. It's about the Nordic countries and how there's so much equality in these countries. And there are many great things about these countries. And there are a lot of frustrating things about these countries. It's written by somebody who's lived in the Nordic countries for quite a while now. Fascinating book if you want to read it. But the main message that I'm getting from this is that equality does not equal trust. Equality does not equal trust. You don't have to have equality with everyone around yourself in order to trust people. What trust is about feeling safe. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. That's what trust is about. And now a lot of that comes back to us. How much confidence do we have in ourselves? How much do we trust ourselves? How do we build confidence? How do we trust ourselves more? Well, that comes from community again. These things circle around and around and around all over the place. So here's my basic message for this morning. Number one, in order to trust yourself and understand who you are and have confidence in who you are and what you're doing, it's great to be in a community that recognizes that. This is why a doctor or whoever, is that somebody who is kind of higher up the hierarchy chain in a society tends to feel far more confident and work in daily life with more confidence because their society looks at them as, hey, you have a place here. This is you're worthwhile here. What I'd encourage you to do is start building community around you that is going to give you this. Understand your place in that community. Ask yourself, what are the skills I have? What can I bring to the table? And then find a community that is going to value that. That can be in a business, in a company that you work for if you're an employee. That could be if you're an employer. Looking at where you fit into the industry that you're in and the value that you bring to people. This is a pretty big thing. I'm going to talk about small towns versus big cities for a second here too. If you're in a small town, one of the great things about living in a small town is that the community is smaller. You get to know people better. You know your place kind of in that community. That can have a lot of really helpful benefits to it. Typically, you feel safer because you know the people around you and there's accountability between the people. On the other side, on the disadvantaged side, living in a small community, if it's the wrong community, if you're in the wrong area of town or whatever it is, it can be really frustrating. You can feel very stuck. And if that's the case, move. You can move. You have an ability to control your life in different ways. Then there's bigger centers and bigger cities. And one of the difficulties with bigger cities is that they're sometimes lacking a sense of community. So for today, all I want to emphasize is that sense of community. Build community around you. You can build it in amazing ways. My best friends, I would consider the people that are closest to me right now actually don't even live in my home city. They don't live within hundreds of kilometers or miles from me. They live way far away. The people that are closest to me right now, my best friends, are quite a significant difference away from me. And the beauty of the day and age that we live in is that you can build community with people no matter where they are. And this is my suggestion. This is my action step for today. Start building community in the way that you want to learn and grow in. So if it's business, go to business conferences, go to marketing seminars, go to seminars where you're going to learn more and meet people there and build relationship with those people because those people are going in the same direction with the same velocity, the same speed that you're moving in. And that's a fantastic thing. Build relationship with those people. Pay money. Put time and energy into like a mastermind group or a small community, an accountability group, a network that invests in you. That can be in your local town or city, but that it could also be anywhere on the planet. And make sure that you're connecting with those people on a consistent basis. Two people that I think about right now that I'm really continually building relationship with, even though we've got a great friendship already, I make sure that I connect with them on a weekly basis. I joke with one of them that sometimes I have more like consistent conversations with that person than sometimes with my wife because sometimes things are crazy at home and I'm coming home late or leaving early and I don't get to see my wife or have good conversations with her as often. But even that's important. spend time with the people who are close to you. Ask yourself, in my family, in my extended family, who are the people that I connect with best? Who are the people that give the most to me as well? And set aside time for that. With my wife, as an example, every Sunday night, we call it our Sunday night wine. Sometimes it includes wine, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we're talking to each other about different things, but we set aside an hour every Sunday night just to connect. Set those times up in your daily schedule, in your weekly schedule. Set those times up in your life to take care of yourself. Then you will know more your place in your community and in your role, and you'll see the value that you're bringing, which helps you with confidence, which helps you with happiness, which is what this series has been about. Enjoy the process. Ask yourself these questions. What am I doing? How could I do it a little bit better? Who are the people in my life that are most valuable to me? And then reach out to those people and ask for a relationship. I'm going to give you a funny story here. So there's been somebody that I've been getting to know for the last year or so. One of these people that I connect with on a weekly basis. And it was kind of weird in our relationship because, I mean, we don't live in the same city. We live across the entire country from each other. And yet I said to him, hey, listen, you are somebody that I respect, that I admire in different ways. Are you okay with a friendship, fostering a friendship? Anyway, it was weird because it was almost like I was asking somebody out for a date on some level. But you know what? He was absolutely okay with that, and he desired a friendship there as well. So know that you can do this. Sometimes it's a little bit weird, a little bit uncomfortable. That's fine. Go out and do that, because this person adds so much more value to my life that it's worth a little bit of discomfort in the beginning. Enjoy your week.